For a second, it seemed Rosa couldn't understand what she'd been told. After having it repeated several times, she realized that apparently something strange had happened. Rosa closed her door for a second, changed her clothes quickly, and followed Genji towards the mansion. The chapel requires some explanation. It wasn't in the mansion, but in a grove behind it, a short walk's distance away. It had been built at the same time as the mansion, so though its walls had been repaired many times, making it look new from the outside, it was a very old building. Rosa dashed through the rain along with Genji. Just like the previous night, the rain was falling in earnest. Eventually, the chapel came into sight from beyond a thin grove. Just looking at it from the outside, it seemed a place of dazzling beauty where a pair of young lovers might want to get married. However, Kinso apparently viewed it as a very sacred place, so Rosa and her siblings had been given strict instructions not to approach it unnecessarily. Even though they were all grown up now, approaching the chapel for any reason would still make them feel guilty, and also afraid, as if their father might get angry and hit them in the face. Okay. So I can remove Kanon now. Kumasawa is the only servant that has not been cleared yet. The servant silhouette could be seen in front of the chapel's entrance, Goda, Shannon, and Kanon, which meant that all of the servants on the morning shift had gathered. A short while ago, Genji had spoken to Rosa, telling her what the situation was. However, without laying eyes on it directly, she definitely hadn't been able to understand. It was probably the same for all the servants gathered here as well. Without seeing it with their own eyes, they wouldn't have been able to understand what was going on. On the door at the entrance to the chapel was something very large, drawn with a creepy, stringy paint that made one think of blood, something like a creepy magic circle. What is this? When was it drawn here? The servants looked at each other. Goda was the first to open his mouth.
My apologies. We don't usually enter this building, so we don't know when it was made.
Then who was the first person to find it?
It was me. When I went to the dining hall to clean up the tea set, I found a memo with chapel written on it.
Shannon held out the memo with a shaking hand. Whose handwriting is it? It isn't Nissan's or Nessan's, right? Before I start, so this shall be the last Umineko stream, right? As is evident. But I think it is very interesting to give a whole episode to just Rosa. I think that is really good for her. That she's going to become a really, really good character when she is the only non-servant adult alive. That's going to be great. That's going to be a lot of fun. Very sad that I won't be able to read it though. So after that, you came here and found this, right?
Yes.
Rosa-sama, look at this. What? Happy Halloween for... What? Kanon pointed at a single line of English written below the creepy magic circle. Until it hadn't been pointed out to her, she thought it was just another part of the magic circle. There, the following words were written in English. Happy Halloween for Maria. Happy Halloween for Maria. This creepy magic circle was for Maria. Happy Halloween. Yesterday, only one person had said Happy Halloween to Maria. The key phrase matched. It was the Golden Witch Beatrice. What about Maria? She should be sleeping with her cousins, right? Did you check?
My apologies. We just now realized that Maria-sama's name was written here. We still have not checked. Quickly.
What are you doing? I'll go check on Maria and come back. Tell Krasny-san and the rest too. After that, follow their instructions.
After saying that much, Rosa finally noticed that something was odd. Her own rank in this family conference was the lowest of the 4 siblings. Why has she been the only one called during in a normal situation like this when the other siblings hadn't been? Even if Maria's name had popped up. Could it be... Huh? What?
Yes, we tried to contact Kraus-sama, but we couldn't find him.
And Madame was not in her room. Judging by the condition of the sheets, she might not have returned to her bed at all this night.
Rosa felt something creepy crawling slowly up her back.
Did you check inside the chapel?
No, not yet. We tried, but...
Actually, the lock to the chapel is special, so the master key will not work. There is a single key that can open it, but that key is missing from the key box.
She didn't want to get closer to the door with the creepy magic circle if she could. Rosa readied herself and approached, then tried pushing and pulling the knob. All she felt was the resistance of the sturdy lock. We searched to see if there was a window we could enter through, but I think we'd have to break one of the windows if we wanted to check inside. What do you think?
There's no way I can give you approval to do something like that. This is Father's precious chapel.
At that time, the events of the previous day swirled around the back of Rosa's mind. That's right. When I met that witch in the rose garden,
Didn't she hand Maria an envelope? Yes, there's no mistake. She did hand it over. When Maria tried to open it, the witch told her not to do it yet. And then she surely said, the time to open it that will come soon. Rosa was sure. There could be no mistake. The envelope Maria had received was...
Okay, well, there's 6 sacrifices, right? So, wait, let me double check that. Wrong thing. Yeah, 6. So, Kraus, Natsuhi, Eva, Hideyoshi, Rudolph, Kairi. Yep. Every adult, not counting Rosa, is 6. So in this episode, instead of being seemingly random, this time they chose all the adult siblings, except Rosa, because she fell off. Oh, actually no, just all the non-servant adults. Sorry, they're not all siblings. Hideyoshi and Kairi are there too. So Rosa mega fell off. Even the non-blood related ones got chosen over her. Because she won. After dashing back to the guest house, Rosa approached the cousin's room while hiding her footsteps, softly opened the door and peered inside. From the inside, she could hear the healthy snores typical of young people. There were 4 children, and Maria was there, sleeping soundly. I'm not writing anyone off until I see them with my own eyes. After breathing a sign of relief, she entered the room with quiet footsteps. She was after Maria's handbag, which was resting on the sofa. Maria always liked carrying her treasures around with her. She was probably emulating how her mother always carried her makeup with her. Of course, she was just imitating her mother, so everything on the inside was junk. Hi, Ruby. If you're... Okay, I don't know how much Sems has told you, but we're with Rosa right now, and she's checking the guest house before checking the chapel. And I can assume that all the non-servant, non-doctor adults have been chosen as the 6 sacrifices in the chapel. And that is all. Let me mark off the children, but I'm not going to remove them from the list. I'm just going to put a little line next to them. So, she said 4 kids and Maria. So, Maria, Butler, George, Jessica. Wait, huh? I guess she said 4 total, including Maria. There were 4 children and Maria was there, but what a weird way to say it, but no, I think it does mean 4 total. So Jessica, George, Butler, Maria. Kumasawa hasn't been seen, Nanjo hasn't been seen, Kairi, Rudolph, Hideyoshi, Eva, Natsuhi, Kraus. You know, but what if like Nanjo, Kumasawa were chosen, right? In Maria's case, it was full of small, creepy occult items, notebooks describing things of that nature, and so on. Rosa had never been happy to see her daughter walking around with things like that, which weren't girlish at all. I stopped reading there because I was like, what? She always hated seeing her daughter. However, trying to force Maria to stop had resulted in a big fight, so she decided to let it be. Here, this is it. A western envelope with the crest of the gold eagle. When she took it out of the bag, she realized there was a heavy, vaguely cylindrical object inside. She could tell by its feel and its weight. There was no doubt this was a key. After turning around and checking that Maria was still sound asleep, Rosa tore open the envelope and the contents spilled onto her palm. It was a key with an old and intricate design. Rosa gripped that key and dashed out. Butler seemed to have noticed the sound, but after grumbling and turning over in his sleep, he started snoring again. Genji-san, could this key be the key to the chapel?
Where did you? Yes, that is the key to the chapel.
Rosa approached the creepy magic circle once again and put the key into the keyhole. There was a strong resistance. After it resisted for a short while, it stopped resisting with a clunk. Then, squeaking with a noise that hurt one's ears, it slowly began to open. Dude, I'm so scared.
Is anyone there?
Her voice reverberated throughout the massive room. Of course, there was no answer. The chapel had a high ceiling and the air was cold. And even on this rainy, unsettling day, it felt sacred for some reason. The servants timidly followed after Rosa. Rosa-sama, look at that. Why did I give him an accent? Kano noticed it immediately and pointed. Over there was the altar. In the place that would normally have a pastor preaching of God's love, there was a tablet that shouldn't have been there. At first it looked like a dining table. There actually was gorgeous plates and utensils placed there, making it look like a child's birthday party or something. Upon closer inspection, the surrounding area had been decorated with pumpkins and black and orange ribbons. They were probably Halloween decorations. And there were people seated at the table. 3 people on each side facing each other, seated in chairs. They could be recognized at a glance. This episode sucks, bollocks. Can we skip this episode? Like, nothing interesting is going to happen. They could be recognized at a glance. Kraus and his wife, Eva and her husband, and Rudolph and his wife. This also sucks. Not like, okay, fine, Natsuki, funny, haha. I It's funny, sad, haha, I fail, I lose, whatever. But this also sucks again because Rudolph and Kairi, the two most underdeveloped characters, get shafted once again. Come on. I expected this episode to make at least Kairi more interesting because she was the one who saw Beatrice first. So I thought like, oh, this episode's gonna focus on Kairi a bit, but no, she's done nothing burger. But if you wanted to be sure, you still have to go even closer and check. Because they seemed almost like dolls. Rosa and the rest had opened the door, entered all at once with the sound of many footsteps and called out, asking if anyone was there. And yet there had been no reaction. Even if Rosa and the rest assumed they were being ignored, you'd still expect there to be some kind of reaction. And there hadn't even been that. So at first it felt like someone had set down some dolls that greatly resembled those people. I love this game, but I also wish I had more... What's the proper term for it? CGs? Just drawn frames, like the frame of Shannon accepting the ring, because the imagery here would have been so haunting. It would have been awesome to see all 6 members just lifelessly sitting in front of a table filled with Halloween decorations and candies. That would have been so cool to see. But I guess that's what you have the manga for, right? Same, bro. OG game had nothing though, I assume so. Just the sprites and backgrounds. I guess in manga panels. Yeah. I would love to see, especially this panel. It sounds really, really haunting. By now, it wasn't just Rosa. Shannon and Kanon and even Goda. They were all fighting frantically with the creepy emotion that grasped their hearts. Misan? Misan? As she walked towards the altar, she called it again, but there was still no reaction. Yes, by now Rosa was sure of it. She was sure those weren't dolls, but the people themselves. This is... They grew closer to see clearly what lay on the table. It still looked like an adorable banquet reminiscent of a child's birthday party. Plates piled up with sweets and cute pitchers and with drinks. All kinds of pumpkin-shaped ornaments. They were all decorated in a Halloween style, and while this probably wasn't the time to be thinking it, Maria would surely have been delighted to see all this. That was the state of the table they sat in front of, apparently asleep. It was an eerie scene, as though a small, fun-looking Halloween party had been stopped in time. They're all... sleeping? Huh? When she approached even closer to them, she realized that there were snacks scattered all around the floor. Candies, cookies, soda and chocolates, all with heavily fantasy-themed packaging. They were all scattered across a carpet covered with blackberry and cranberry jam. Speaking of CGs, that's a really good one. That looks like Rudolph's hand. I hate that Shannon's other thigh is always covered. I want to see if she has it tattooed on both sides or just the opposite side as Beatrice. Is there someone behind them? It seems like there's another head behind Genji. Well, Rosa, it's your time to lock in. Stop being washed. What? Rosa and the rest finally realized what the situation was. It was a Halloween party, a banquet for those not of this world. Kraus, Natsuhi, Eva, Hideyoshi, Rudolph, and Kairi were seated in chairs, apparently asleep, but all dead. How could you tell that they were dead and not simply sleeping? That was because they've been vertically sliced open from their chests to their stomachs.
Rao-sama!
How cruel. The 6 of them had sat down at a Halloween party before having their stomachs split open, killing them. Then the jam covering the floor must be what overflowed from their stomachs once they stuffed themselves completely, right? No. The contents of their stomachs have been scattered all over the floor. And that wasn't all. Out of their stomachs, it was almost as though they poured out. As though snacks had overflown from there. Candies and cookies, soda and chocolates had poured out, stained with blood, and had scattered across the floor. What could have happened to cause this? It's almost as though their stomachs were stuffed full to bursting with sweets, and it all poured out when their stomachs split open. Rosa remembered a certain shocking meal, a turkey that had been served at her own birthday. When it had been cut open with a knife, out floated one of her favorite foods. But since she hadn't been told what was inside, the deep, deep red ketchup omelette rice poured out like bloody maggots, pulsing, dripping, slimy, pulpy, squelching. The trauma of her youth was revived. Rosa felt a monster raging inside her stomach as the acid started to rise. Unable to hold back, she threw it all up on the floor. Her empty stomach had nothing but stomach acid. The scene in front of her was no fun Halloween party now. The 3 couples were enshrined right there, their stomachs vertically wrenched open with a... So many snacks have been stuffed in there, pulpy, squishy. Blood and guts and sweets were overflowing onto the floor. Bloodstained, sticky, sloppy, pulpy, sweet snacks that made your fingers stick together, gummy, but stained with entrails, sloppy, pulpy. What was that I stepped on just now? It didn't feel like a candy or a cookie or a soda or a chocolate. I'm scared. What did I step on? I can't even look at the bottom of my foot. What a gruesome Halloween party. From far away, it had looked truly beautiful, fantastical and fun. From up close, it was horrible, disgusting, yet somehow still beautiful. Rosa's wild thoughts tried as best as they could to escape their throat with a loud voice that was neither a scream nor a roar.
Rao-sama.
This is horrible. Just horrible. Call an ambulance. Call the police. That's right. The police. Police.
If a word so tied to reality hadn't come out of Goda's mouth, Rosa and the rest would probably have found themselves unable to escape that nightmarish party even now. But it wasn't because they thought the police might be able to do something. If they didn't keep yelling about the police, it felt as though another seat might be set up at this demon's party and given to them. Their own chests felt like they were expanding unpleasantly from the inside, rumbling, churning, and it was surely because candy was about to overflow from their stomachs. Rosa, once again tortured by a desire to vomit, threw her stomach acid up on the floor, and then she searched to see if there was any candy in it. Anyway, Rosa coughed violently again, forcefully spitting out the stomach acid that had been burning in her throat. She realized that by now, her whole body had been covered in a filthy sweat. Genji-san, Shonan-chan, please contact father and ask for instructions. Goda-san, go with Kanon-kun and call the police. Then have Dr. Nanjo come here. Why even bring Dr. Nanjo here? It's a bit too late for medical care. Servants accepted their orders and dashed outside. After watching them leave, Rosa once again stared at her siblings, with whom she spent good times and bad with their parents. Though there could be nothing more tragic than this scene, for some reason, she was tempted to describe these fantastical deaths as beautiful. What do we have left? Kairi, Hideyoshi, Rudolph, Eva, Natsuhi, Kraus. So all that's left is Nanjo, all the children. Wait, no. Crap, I gotta redo it because I had removed. Yeah, okay, wait. So, Beatriz, Kumasawa, Goda, Kanon, Shannon, Genji, Maria Rosa, Nanjo, Butler, not Kairi, not Rudolph, George, yes, not Hideyoshi, not Eva, not Natsuhi, not Kraus. Okay. So all we have left right now is Kinso, Jessica, George, Butler, Nanjo, Rosa, Maria, Genji, Shannon, Kanon, Goda, Kumasawa, and Beatriz if we want to count her. So we need 7. We need 7 for the stakes. I'm gonna try to guess who's going to get impaled this time. Although it's probably futile because when the ritual does not go as planned, the stakes seem seemingly random. So we've been told it's supposed to be George and... No, it is an active utility, there's no reason. The stakes are probably gonna be random. But, according to my previous prediction, Envy can still be Goda, Sloth can still be Genji, Pride can no longer be Eva because she's gone, so we need a new Pride. Wrath can still be Rosa. Greed needs a new person because Kraus is gone. Gluttony can be George and Lust can be Shannon. So we need a new Greed and a new Pride. Greed could be Kinso again if they want to be unoriginal. And Pride. Pride fits Rosa a lot because she really cares about her image. Probably Jessica? Nah, I don't know. It's an active utility anyways. Check characters and panels. Corpse found inside the chapel. The direct cause of his death is unknown, but it seems his stomach was cut open and... Wait a second. Wait. Gouge the head and kill. No, we skipped the chest. We're on stomach. Okay, I thought that each loop, each repeat would be one of these twilights, so we skipped the chest. Because in the first episode, all their heads were mashed in. But now we skipped over to stomach instead of going... they said they were split from the chest to the stomach. Or was it just the stomach? Okay, it could still work. From their chest to their stomachs. Maybe they're incorporating both Twilights into one, because otherwise we would have too many episodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we would have 5 episodes, which, we do have 5 episodes though. Why would they skip one? We have 5 episodes, right? Not the answer arcs? Let me double check. No. Episodes 5 through 8 are the answer arcs. 1 through 4 is the questions. So, it makes sense that they would need to skip one of the Twilights. So, head for episode 1, chest and stomach for episode 2, because they were sliced vertically from both of them. So, episode 3, they're going to get their kneecaps cut off. And episode 4, their legs. Some gotta get mushed or something. Interesting. I doubt this means anything. Maybe it does. But I think it's just the author being cheeky and being funny. But I feel like it has to mean something, right? So, this opens up a new door. This opens up a new door of the riddle needing you to experience multiple loops of the story. Like it encompasses a greater, grander image than we thought. It's not just specific stories, but like all four stories together. But I can't really make anything of that right now. And there's 8 episodes, so we can't really reach a 10th Twilight. I mean, it's not like we're going in order. The first and second Twilight have been like mushed. We're starting here. This is the first episode. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, let me try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that one skips an episode if we start from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But it could still make sense. 7 episodes, and the 8th is after you solve the riddle, right? Like the 8th is beyond the riddle. That's like the last one. That's the after the riddle has been solved. So it could still work. So episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So episode 6 will probably deal with Beatrice more. Episode 6 will probably deal with Beatrice more because she's been revived. So it's probably just gonna be... Episode 6 will probably have none of the family members, and it'll just be Beatrice and Battler somehow. Then episode 7, I don't know, we're probably gonna do something... Oh, episode 7 will probably... Oh! Wait. Okay, I'm gonna stay with saying that episode 6 is just going to focus mostly on Battler and Beatrice, because, you know, this is like the last gouge, the X and kill. Probably meaning that the loops will stop there. There won't be another 6 chosen by the key. So, episode 6 will be like the conclusion of Battler's and Beatrice's battle in the Tea Party. And episode 7 will be about the other witches. You will go to the Golden Land. Again, not sure what that means, but I'm gonna assume like the Golden Land is like a world of magic. So you're going to meet all the other witches. And this episode is going to deal with Bernkastel and Lambda Delta and any others who exist. And then episode 8 will be the final conclusion. Interesting. What's chat saying? Episode 5 to 6 are still taking questions by how vague it is. You get your extra answers in episode 6, episode 7, my bad. That just makes... Yeah, that makes... No, okay, wait. Episode 7, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I would assume you would have gotten an episode 6 because of this. But I assume she's going to keep rage baiting Battler. But in episode 7, where you actually go to the Golden Land and possibly talk to all the other witches and see the grand scheme of the entire game, you know, you finally reach the backstage. You reach the behind the scenes here because you're in the Golden Land. So it makes sense you get your answers there. And then episode 8, which does not exist, would be super duper conclusion. That is when we will want your 20-page essay on the gaming for episode 7. And now that Natsui is dead, I'm gonna say we are very excited for reaction to episode 5. What does that mean? I don't know. 5 is the last of the sacrifices. Okay, makes sense why it would be a big episode. Alright, manga panels. Okay, the first picture. It's cool, but they are just silhouettes. So. And you can't even see the candy or nothing. That one's kind of dookie. They fell off in that one. Like, you can't even see the candy on the floor or nothing. But the second one, this one's gonna be good. Oh my gosh! Yes! Oh, that's so good. Wait, there's gold on the table? I'm gonna ignore that because the game didn't say so. Oh, that's so... That's lovely. That is what I was hoping for. That is really nice. Wow. But yeah, this also, like, it's not from the chest. Here it is just the stomach. But again, I'm not gonna take what the manga shows as face value. I'm gonna prioritize what the game words say. Even if the translations are different or whatever. Oh, that is really pretty. Thank you. Alright, any other thoughts? Oh, I didn't finish reading the characters. Corpse found inside the chapel. The direct cause of death is unknown, but it seems his stomach was cut open and his intestines were pulled out after his death. Additionally, sweets and candies were packed into his stomach. Welcome, Maria. Happy Halloween. See, didn't I tell you? Bellies are full of candy. Okay, the first line are the same, just the pronouns change. Everyone has a belly that's filled with sweet dreams. A belly could never be full of disgusting things. That's why we want to be simple and sweet like candy. So this dreamland is for you. Happy Halloween. Well, now I can check on my Discord. No. I was gonna go on a thought process of the 6 sacrifices also alluding to one of the 7 princes of hell. Because right now, you know, candy and their stomachs, that is very connected to gluttony. But I can't really do that with the first episode. So nah, scratch that. They aren't here. Where do they go? The servant room and the kitchen are both empty. What in the world happened?
Mama! Where's Mama? My letter! The letter I got from Beto! Give it back! Give it back!
Perplexing. Bedlerkin, are you sure it was Aunt Rosa? Well, even I was half asleep, so I'm not too sure. And continuing, okay, so, like, yeah, I'm bummed. It's sad, but I already know how the game works, so I know this isn't the end. It's just going to be a bit boring, but my goat battler is still here. So obviously I know she's going to return in the 3rd loop. So yes, the end of Umineko has not come yet. But I get the feeling that in the early morning, Aunt Rosa came in and fished around in Maria's handbag. I figured there was probably a tube of toothpaste or something in there. Why would there be a tube of toothpaste in Maria's handbag? It looks like you were a little more than half asleep. Butler vaguely remembered Rosa entering the cousin's room. Also, when Maria woke up before the rest of them, she started rampaging around, saying that someone had opened the envelope she'd been keeping safe. Putting 2 and 2 together, they figured that Rosa had probably come and opened the envelope. A letter from the Golden Witch. I wonder what was inside. I don't know. But that envelope was for grandfather's personal use, and it had the Ushiramiya family crest on it. Whatever was inside must have had some connection to the family conference. She hadn't let anyone touch it yesterday. Maria had shown that envelope off to Butler and the rest a whole lot. So they remembered it well.
Mama, give it back! Mama, give it back!
Oh. Well, if you're right, it'll be pretty important. Why would this mighty witch give something that important to Maria? I don't get it. Every once in a while, the refreshing morning atmosphere was completely wiped out by the sound of thunder. It was only natural. Since the moment they woken up, they hadn't met anyone else. It felt like only they were left, as if the mansion had become an empty husk.
Hey! Anyone there? Answer me!
Jessica called out into the hallway, and eventually an answer came back. It came from the entrance hall.
I can hear you. Has something happened?
Yeah, Dr. Nancha. Thank goodness. It looks like everyone but us hasn't disappeared from the island after all.
Dr. Nanjo, good morning. Sorry, but do you know where our parents went?
Dear me, I only just woke up and came here, you see. I have no way of knowing for sure, but
It was only natural. Nancha was a guest just like the rest of them. He'd come just now to pass the time in the parlor and to breakfast.
Dr. Nanjo, Mama took it. Mama took my letter. Give it back. Give it back.
Maria buried her face in Nancha's plump stomach, sobbing and crying. Nancha could do nothing but be bewildered by this ruckus so early in the morning. Ah, someone's running this way. Jessica, someone's coming! From down the hall, they could sense people running hurriedly. They saw Golda and Kanon coming towards them. Normally, it would be disgraceful for a servant to run inside the mansion. And yet Butler and the rest didn't even think to question that now. Maria's sobbing had become so unmanageable they wanted to ask someone, anyone who Rosa was. But the two servants seemed to have bigger things on their minds than Jessica, who was waving at them. Golda flew into the servant room, and when Kanon noticed that Nanchu was there, he bowed and approached the doctor at a quick pace before whispering something into his ear.
what did you say? Rosa-san did.
Yes, I will guide you, so please accompany us.
Understood.
This way. Without saying anything more than that, Kanon finally noticed Jessica and bowed to her, but he wasn't calm. He dashed back down the corridor by which he had come, followed by Nanjo. By looking at how hurriedly they were, Butler and the rest realized that yes, something bad had happened. They saw Golda through the door to the servant room, which had been flung open. He was holding the receiver and violently pressing the hook. From that, they realized that he was trying to call a hospital or the police. In any event, he was trying to call someone because a serious emergency had occurred. Let's have a look. Yeah.
Mama, give it back. Give me back my letter. It's an invitation to the Golden Land.
They didn't know what, but something was happening. Butler and the rest chased after Kanan and Nanjo. And then we realized Kanan couldn't have called Dr. Nanjo, but he hadn't called us. So we shouldn't have gone with him. I wonder if Alice regretted her excess curiosity when she chased after the rabbit holding a clock.
No, you mustn't go in. You mustn't look. Jessica-chan, no!
Mother? Father? What happened?
What the hell is this? This goes way beyond bad taste. Isn't taking someone's life bad enough? What the hell is this? Going to all the trouble after they died of sitting them on chairs, slicing open their stomachs and pulling their innards out. You went to all the trouble of stuffing their stomachs full of sweets? Why? Why the hell would you do something so fucked up? Damn it. Nice job, you bastard. Just great, just great.
It would be best if everyone went outside. They certainly wouldn't want you all to see them like this.
Nanjo told the children to go outside, but no one listened.
Rosa-san, please tell them. If they kept looking at something like this, it will do nothing but harm.
Rosa regretted her own carelessness. She should have realized that the children would eventually come here. She should have quickly locked up instead of standing around stunned. So the children had come here. They had seen it. Surely at this very moment they were having a sight burn into their eyes. That was far more grotesque than the shocking meal Rosa had witnessed in her youth. While she hugged Maria, who seemed to be too shocked to show any emotion at the gruesome scene, Rosa cried for them and their parents. The four groaning and crying voices, their sadness, continued to echo in a place that should have known God's love. You piece of crap. Again. Another one of those murders? And this time you made it all elaborate, killing them like it's a total joke.
I was rather hoping you'd thank me, not cry out and grieve.
Thank you? Did you say I should thank you, you old bitch? Damn it. If there's something wrong with your ears, I'll cut them off. Both off so you can hear better. Why should I have to see that insane way of killing and say, "Oh, thank you very much, Beatrice-sama. I'll beat your brains out."
In the last game, you lamented the fact that you couldn't see your parents' faces after they died, yes. So this time, I left them. Didn't touch them. Took a good look, for without a doubt your father and the rest have been killed.
Really? What a nice treat. I'm so fucking happy. I swore I'd plow your face after I choked the life out of you, but I'll take that back now. I'll rip out your guts instead.
Don't give in to emotion. Don't stop thinking. My game has already begun, right? I decided to leave you neat and tidy corpses this time. Do you know why? When you denied my existence in the last game, you used this line of thinking. Their faces were crushed, so the identity of the corpses can't be confirmed. Therefore, we can't eliminate the possibility that fake corpses were prepared to create an alibi. Unless the possibility is denied, a human culprit theory can still be built.
What did you say?
So, Butler, is it okay to leave the examination of the corpses to Nanjo? Isn't it traditional in mystery novels for the doctor who performs such examinations to be an accomplice? Then don't leave the examination to him. Do it yourself. Make completely sure that without a doubt, the 6 corpses are the 6 people they're supposed to be. That they really, really are dead, not just pretending. If you wish to confirm that your father and mother have been killed by having their stomachs cut open and their innards pulled out, you'd better stick your head inside their stomachs and feel around.
I won't cry. Damn it. Damn it! I won't cry! Butler yelled suddenly. His tears were still dripping down, but as though scolding himself for being a sissy, he slapped his face hard several times with both hands. Even so, the tears still wouldn't stop. However, he felt a hot blaze in both his eyes. Whoever's responsible for this piece of work, I'll make them pay back their debt completely! So this isn't the time to cry. Gotta think about what to do. It's useless. It's all useless. If you got enough time to cry, then think! This is no time to let yourself cry. Rather than genuine anger, maybe it was more of an evasive anger to blot out his sadness. However, it gave a little courage to George and Jessica who'd been crushed by their sadness. That's right. Even if we cry, it won't change the reality of what has happened.
Damn it, 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 damn it. Then what should we do? What should I do for Mom and Dad's sakes?
Rosa-sama, I have returned.
Kota-san, what happened with the police? What did they say to do? Did they say when they think they'll be able to get here?
Yes, Dad. It seems the phones have broken down. I also tried the emergency wireless, but maybe it's the weather. But that isn't working either.
What did you say? So we can't contact the police? It's that person! They did something to the phone line, made it so we can't call the cops!
When she heard that the phones had broken down, Jessica immediately decided that it was the work of that mysterious guest. Her eyes were bright red after so much crying that they began to grow even redder with rage.
God, there's no need to talk about it, right? I understand everything that's right, I get it. Who killed Dad and Mom? It's obviously her! It's gotta be that witch or whatever who came yesterday! I'll grab her by the collar. Damn it, damn it, damn it! Jessica-chan, wait! Kota-san, go!
Yes, ma'am.
Milady, wait!
Covering her uncontrollable sadness with anger, Jessica ran outside, torn apart by emotion. Thinking about it hastily, maybe the mystery guest who had arrived yesterday, Beatriz, was suspicious. However, in that instant, there was absolutely no proof that she was the culprit. At this moment, she's just another guest, no more, no less. So Rosa, making an adult decision, was forced to stop Jessica in her rash rampage. Goda and Kanun picked up on this immediately and chased after her. Could this guest that no one invited Beatriz be the culprit? I understand how Jessica feels. I wish I could think that too. It doesn't matter who, I want someone to be the culprit. It doesn't matter who. I want someone to be the culprit so I can bash them right in the face. But before that, we need a clear understanding of what's going on. Who is this Beatriz? I haven't even seen her face.
If you're looking for her face, it decorates the big portrait in the mansion. You still don't remember after looking at it for so long.
Come on, Maria. What's so funny in a situation like this?
Beatriz is a witch, and the ceremony to open the door to the Golden Lands has finally begun. Those 6 people are sacrifices. Come, let us begin the witches' banquet. Tonight is Halloween, so now the witches will gather to celebrate.
Maria, how many times do I have to tell you to stop laughing in that creepy voice? The crisp sound of Rosa slapping Maria's cheek echoed through the high ceiling in the chapel. Ever since it started raining yesterday? No. Ever since the island was swallowed by the typhoon, it felt as though something was wrong. It was bright and sunny when I arrived on Ronkenjima, but since I've gotten up early and was sleepy, I took a nap. When I woke up, it had already started raining, and ever since that time, suddenly a mysterious visitor calling herself the Golden Witch Beatriz arrived, and I felt like I was sinking bit by bit into a bizarre world. When what the heck happened while I was snapping? Am I supposed to believe this island was sealed off inside a different world, where common sense doesn't apply? Who is this person called Beatriz? Is some unknown person trying to involve themselves with these inheritance problems just like our parents were freaking out about the dinner last night? Or the culprit this witch from the legend of the gold, just like Maria said? Even if we set Jessica's temper aside, given the circumstances, it's probably safe to say that this visitor person is the most suspicious. But we mustn't make up our minds based on that alone. It's useless. It's useless. It's all useless. I just realized I was badly talking. I smacked my face with both hands again, cooling off my brains before they overloaded. Even though it might have been a wasted effort. This is one of Grandfather's envelopes. On a tray piled up with sweets that decorated the table, George Aniki found a Western envelope that had the Ushiramiya family crest done on it in gold leaf. And it was unopened. Which means it's probably meant for us, right? There was something Dad and the others read it should be open. Wait. Oh no, okay, it's a new one. It seems the reasoning is correct. It's written right here. Someone wrote to those who remain.
Is that a letter the culprit left? What's inside?
Aniki, let's open it. After nodding silently, George Aniki broke the seal. A folded letter came out. I'll read it. Welcome to Rokenjima, members of the Ushirimiya family. I am Beatriz, the alchemist for this family employed by Kento-sama himself. The letter really was a joke. This Beatriz, who called himself the family alchemist, had announced that she was collecting the gold she'd lent grandfather along with interest. And that interest is everything grandfather had created. Since this tragedy was right before our eyes that this paragraph was being read aloud, it clearly wasn't referring just to the wealth that grandfather had built up. Oh, wait a second. Nah. It was literal. Everything that grandfather had created. In other words, all of grandfather's descendants were included in the interest. You bastard! What a screwed up contract! Lives as interest for gold, you say? That's almost like a contract with the devil, isn't it? You think that makes you look more like a witch? Don't make me laugh. Special clause. However, if someone is able to discover the hidden gold of this contract, Beatrice must abandon those rights for all time. Kinso-sama has already publicly displayed the location of the hidden gold within the epitaph under my portrait. In other words, it's something like this. If these murders represent her collecting interests, then she's telling us to try and stop the gold she gave grandfather. Try and find the gold she gave grandfather wanted her to stop. And she's also saying that the secret pointing to the gold is hidden in the portrait epitaph. So basically, there's a letter of challenge from the witch. She's telling us to try and solve the code that points to the hidden gold if we can. And if we can't, she'll keep collecting the interest as planned. I'll beat you to death. Bring it on! Butler-kun, look! The table was covered with sweets, so even though those things were right out in the open, we just assumed they were sweets too. I mean, come on. You see them a lot, right? So the manga wasn't lying. You know, those boxes of chocolate shaped like gold ingots. This is no box of candy. It's the real thing. This is a real gold bar. It's inscribed with the crest of the one-winged eagle. I heard Mother talking about this earlier. This is a gold bar from Grandfather's Legend of the Gold. Gold ingots weighing a full 10 kilograms. A whole 3 of them were piled up in the very center of the table. It was where a cake would have been placed if it was a birthday party. In other words, this was without a doubt the birthday cake of the party known as the family conference. If these are really 4 purity ingots, they're worth about 60 million yen. You stupid! That's way too cheap! 6 of our parents have been killed, and the gold you throw our way is for a measly 60 million yen? Don't take us for fools, damn it!
So, it has begun, Beatrice. It's not like anyone can solve this riddle anyway, so Beato will definitely win. Quickly, open the door to the golden land, and take me with you!
I can finally think! I can finally breathe! I have so much to say. Okay, let me just say what I was thinking. It's just 2 things, really. So first off, gotta play my part as battler and deny the existence. So once again, Beatrice created the 19th visitor to prove that even if there was a 19th person, it couldn't have been done. She's going to say, "Oh, it's me, but the door was locked and I didn't have the key. The key belongs to the servants or whatnot. And the servants were there in the servant house the whole time, so how could anyone have gotten the key and locked the door?" Yada yada, you know? But no. You're just gonna say, "The key was in the envelope. Rosa is my witness, right, Rosa? You can prove that the key was in Maria's envelope, which was in Maria's handbag the whole time. You are the biggest eyewitness to this. You saw it. You saw me give it to Maria. So you know that no one else could have had the key except for Maria. So unless you think that Maria killed all 6 sacrifices, it means that a witch must have done it, not a human." But I already got checkmate for that. The envelope could have been empty.
She could have just given her an empty envelope, and Beatrice, or whoever the real culprit is, has the key. They killed everyone, they got out of the chapel, they locked the door, went back to the guest house, and replaced the empty envelope with the key in it. So, if once again, my theory of Kinsel being the culprit is right, then it makes sense that he could have many, and he has the ring. He could just seal the wax, right? It's his ring. But if we believe that Beatrice is the culprit, like they want you to believe, which I don't believe, we can also say that Kinsel threw out the ring, right? Like we saw in episode 1. So, and I'm pretty sure that in her sprite, the ring she has on is that ring. So she has the ring. She can make more envelopes. She could have made one empty one and one with the key. So either way, if it's Beatrice or Kinsel, it is still possible to commit those murders without needing magic. So yeah, checkmate. None of your excuses are gonna work on me. And the second thing I want to say is very, 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 very cool what I noticed. That after Butler and Beatrice had the conversation, the fourth wall conversation, during that, the episode 2 Butler, the current Twilight Butler, became cool-headed really quickly. Like, even in episode 1, Butler went up to Rudolph and started, crying about his dad dying. This time he didn't. So, I think it would be a really, really cool plot point if both of them can affect the story, both Beatrice and Butler. Obviously, Beatrice holds way more power, and she could actually lie and show illusions and make moves, but Butler is also clearly, what's the word? Not guiding, but influencing the actions that are happening in episode 2 as well. Because the episode 2 Butler became very cool-headed much more quickly, and because of him becoming more cool-headed, George and Jessica also became way more cool-headed even faster. I guess George didn't lose anyone. No, wait a second. Yeah, no, Eva and Hideyoshi are dead this time, so he lost even more than just Shannon here. So he should have reacted the same way he reacted to Shannon dying in episode 1, and yet he didn't. He was way more cool-headed. And Jessica, she was the one that was a complete mess. She couldn't even properly speak. She was just crying and screaming in episode 1. And that time, only Kraus died? This time both Natsuhi and Kraus died, and she was way more composed, even going after Beatrice. So I hope that isn't just a time-saving measure, because, we already saw them suffer, so let's make it quick this time. And I hope it's a genuine show that the Tea Party Battler is influencing everyone to be calmer, more calm-headed, and more logical, and that will help them solve the riddle. I think that's really cool. I noticed that, and that was really neat. And that is all I wanted to say during that. Very interesting. Very interesting. This is going to be intense. One more scene, and then we'll be done. An hour has passed. Whew, boy. I'm not gonna be okay. I'm not gonna be okay for the entirety of this episode. I'm gonna be so demotivated. Yeah, you're getting streams twice a month now. My lady, please calm yourself. We still don't know who the culprit is, and Beatrice-sama is an important and honored guest of the Masters. So what? If we grab her by the collar, she'll definitely confess. If I could just look her in the eye, I'll see through her. Another thing. Oh, wait, this is actually really exciting. Natsuhi being gone opens a great opportunity for Jessica. Because again, I see Jessica as having the makings of a leader in her blood. So, she's already taking initiative. Not very logical initiative, but she's missing the logic-focused leadership
of Natsuhi, but she has the power, the conviction. She has the conviction and power leadership that Natsuhi also had of taking the initiative, of being the first to go out the door and do something about something. Like, Natsuhi would have been the first one to go out the door to put up measures so the kids didn't see anything or to keep everyone safe. And Jessica, on the other hand, is using the power and conviction to be the first to take initiative to instead go after the culprit. So it shows that they both have the same makings in their blood. They both have the power and convictions of leadership. It's just that Jessica, being younger and inexperienced, is more hot-headed. So instead of using the power and initiative to keep everyone safe, she's using it to hurt someone, basically. So that's really cool. And I was saying that Natsuhi being gone opens up big opportunities for Jessica to keep growing and using this leadership blood that she has in her blood from Natsuhi. So excited for that. I hope they do something with that and don't just brush her off. That would be very fun to see, because the whole what have I done? Why is the chat so small now? Whatever. The whole game I've been yapping about how much I want Jessica to be someone, to grow and be basically the head of the house, even though everything's against her. So I'm really excited. If episode 2 plays around with that idea, we might get more frequent streams again. But either way, I somehow made the chat small and I cannot fix it. What did I do? Okay, it's fixed.
A witch? Beatrice? Yeah, right! I'll expose her!
Jessica never stopped moving. Golda and Kanon chased after her, doing their best to convince her to stop, but Jessica never lent them an ear. Eventually, the witch's VIP room came into view. This VIP room was always sealed and never used. No matter what kind of guest came, Kinsa wouldn't let them in here. One more thing. I've been of the mind that only chosen people were chosen to see this 19th visitor, Beatrice. So, I have a feeling that she won't be in the room and Jessica won't be able to see her. And yet the servants were always made to clean this room so that it could be used at any time. So the servants had started calling this room the witch's VIP room after their second shapeless master. Jessica knew about this too, and she couldn't forgive the arrogance of one who called herself a witch by staying in this room. The Golden Witch was just a fairy tale. Come on, a witch? To Jessica, she was just nothing more or less than the murderer who had brutally killed her parents. Question her, hear her pitiful excuses, make her splutter in pain, gasp in anguish. No matter how hard she pretends to be a witch, I'll teach her that she's just a stinking, sweaty human. As Jessica yelled with all of her strength. Oh, I remember now what made me, a few streams ago, I was talking about what made me remember that Jessica had the makings of a leader. And I couldn't remember, but I remember now. It was her denying the existence of Beatrice as well in the tea party at the end. Not like fully denying it, because it shows that she doesn't have the full conviction that Butler has to deny her, but she still has the conviction to, what's the word? Refuse her? To retaliate, to fight against her by telling Butler to not give up, to disprove her existence. So yeah, I forgot that was like the biggest clue of Jessica having the same makings of her mother. Oh, I love Jessica. That's right. I'm sorry. We're getting streams every day again. Umineko's back on the menu. I forgot how much I love Jessica as well. So now that Natsui's gone, I have remembered that Jessica is equally as goated. So we're good. We still have a reason to keep playing. Oh, I hope this episode really makes her shine. Without Natsuhi, she needs to lock in. Oh, I love her so much. I just that scene at the end, like, I already loved her, as you know, but that scene at the end of the tea party was just, I could see Natsuhi in her. It was just like Natsuhi calling Beatrice to a duel. That refusal was so cool. She's so cool. Oh. Yep, we're back on the menu. We're back on the menu. Let's go. Saved. How does he do it? How does he do it? I should have never ever doubted him. Jessica yelled with all of her strength. She hit the door to the VIP room. It definitely wasn't a knock. The sound was the beating of her anger's hammer as she was determined to break the door down if it wasn't opened.
Open up, Beatrice! Come on out! You hear me, right? Open up!
There was no answer. Jessica grabbed the doorknob without any reservation, but she felt the resistance of the lock. She turned around to look at the two servants and spoke.
The master key will unlock this, right? Use it!
Milady, that would be horribly rude.
Although Goda was flustered, he still tried to somehow calm Jessica's anger. After hanging his head suddenly for a while, Kanon pulled the master key from his jacket's pocket.
Kanon-kun, son, are you sure?
Yes, I'm fully aware it would be rude if she happens to be in there. At any rate, if Beatrice had nothing to do with that incident, all she has to do is give us a satisfying explanation.
That's right, exactly. Let me borrow that.
Jessica snatched the master key from Kanon's hand and violently shoved it into the keyhole. Immediately there was a small sound and she felt the lock click. Then without asking permission, she flung the door open.
Beatrice! Where are you? Come out!
Jessica suddenly stepped into the room. The witch wasn't anywhere to be seen. Thought so. I bet Kanon can see her. And once again, if Kanon can see her, Shannon isn't here. I don't know since retelled this thought I had last night, but I'm under the impression that Shannon and 19 Visitor Beatrice are somehow one and the same, only because of the thigh tattoo that they both have. Because so far we haven't seen them both together in the same room with someone else being there. We've only seen them together in the same room when it's just them two.
That bitch! She's not here. Where the hell did she go?
Yes, she doesn't seem to be here.
Jessica, thinking she might be hiding somewhere inside the room, peeked behind the curtains and under the bed, where she couldn't find anyone. However, there definitely were signs that the beds had been used. And though it was only a vague sense, the atmosphere in the room felt a little soft. It wasn't the hard atmosphere of a place normally devoid of people, like the chapel. You could definitely tell that someone had spent the night in this room. But she could not be seen. In reality, neither Jessica nor Goda had met Beatrice. They had only been told by those who had met her that she looked like a double of the character in the portrait. So they were doubtful about what her face really looked like. However, Kanon alone had met her. He understood what kind of being that witch was, what kind of personality she had. So he knew that forcing the way in here and search for her definitely wouldn't work out. She must be watching us bitterly flail about in vain from somewhere, sneering at us. She's that kind of person. Because he was looking at things that way, Kanon was the first to find it. The other two were concentrating on finding the shadow of a person, so they didn't notice. Near a water jug on the side table, there was a single sheet of letter paper. On it was a short message, and nearby was a fountain pen which had probably been used to write it. Kanon had already come to understand the witch. After finding the corpses, they'd been overcome by rage and barged in here, only to find no one, so of course the witch would mock them. You can't mock someone unless they know they're being mocked. So in other words, that's what this must be. My lady, there's something written here.
Something written? What?
Jessica dashed over and violently snatched a piece of paper away. She probably wasn't trying to be violent. She just couldn't control her strength right now.
What the? Don't fuck with me!
As soon as she read the message, Jessica went into a wild rage, crumpled the paper up and threw it. Then she grabbed the light stand by the bedside and violently swung it around, mercilessly hitting the walls with furniture with it. The light bulbs all shattered at once and the fragments were scattered across the room.
Milady, please calm down. You'll hurt yourself.
Let go! Damn it! Damn it! Come out, Beatrice! How could you do that to Mom and Dad? You think you scare me? I'll kill you! I'll kill you! I'll beat you to death, so show yourself! I told you to let go of me, damn it!
This was written on the paper.
Did you think I'll be that senile to just sit around here waiting for you to come barging in? You're way too intelligent for that inelegance for that intelligible night. Blah, blah, blah. I can only imagine what the parents who raised you would be to be such a moron must have looked like. Hey. Oh right, I saw them, and they looked just as moronic as you. Now their bellies are full in the land of sweets.
That was the sort of thing that witch would write. It meant she predicted that one of the children would have lost their parents who come running in here. If she's hiding somewhere in this room, she must be rolling around laughing now. The witch was that kind of person. She sneered at people's misfortune, using it to stave off the boredom of 1,000 years.
Hand it over. I'm telling you, you'll hurt yourself.
I told you to let go. Damn it!
Goda snatched away the light stand Jessica had been holding. After all, she kept swinging it around. She might end up smashing it against something which could cause serious injury. To Goda's eyes, Jessica probably looked mad with rage, burning herself up with the flames of anger. But Kanon's eyes saw it differently. Those probably tears of sadness hidden by rage. So, when the light stand was taken from Jessica, she started crying on the floor, scratching at the carpet almost as though she was groveling. Goda was surprised, but Kanon was not. Of course, she had lost her means of crying by lashing out in rage. Considering that she was a daughter of the Ushirimiya head family, she was in a very shabby state. She scratched at the carpet with her fingernails, and even her feet were scratching. Jessica cried very, very hard, because if she didn't, her rage would start building up again and swallowed her up. But over and over again, she remembered that humiliating message. I can only imagine what the parents who raised you to be such a moron must have looked like. Don't you call them morons? Both Dad and Mom were smart. Unlike me, they were really smart. Don't you call them morons? Take it back. Take it back. Alright, I saw them, and they look just as moronic as you. Now their bellies are full in the land of sweets. I'll kill her, I'll kill her, I'll kill her, I'll kill her. I'll slice open her stomach and see how she likes it. Jessica cried and screamed. She triggered an asthma attack. The servants watching over her hurriedly ran up to her and rubbed her back, but that only provoked Jessica's wrath. If you get the time to do that, search for the bastard. Find them and bring them here. If you won't go, I will. And I'll kill them with my own hands. I'll slice open her stomach. Don't touch me! Jessica got up unsteadily, and her asthma continued. She went out into the hallway.
My lady, your medicine, quickly! I will go and knock the Ranjo.
Goda-san, would you leave this to me? Kanon had noticed. Goda was vastly separated from her in age, probably couldn't sense the tears in Jessica's heart. Kanon, who had noticed, had to be the one to support her.
Kanon-san, are you sure?
I believe my lady's sense needs some time to cry right now, considering that she saw her parents killed like that.
You're right.
Goda also understood, and he knew that Jessica and Kanon had shared a vague relationship with each other. So he understood everything and left it to Kanon.
Very well. I will go back to Rosa-sama. Please, take care of my lady.
Yes, leave it to me. Kanon's voice was frail, but he nodded firmly. After looking at his eyes, Goda nodded firmly as well. Goda was a veteran with many years behind him. He's seen a great number of people in his life, so he knew the vigorous sparkle that could be found in the eyes of those who possess self-control. He had surely seen that in Kanon's eyes. So he would leave this to Kanon. When you think about it, maybe this was the first time Goda had ever entrusted Kanon and relied on him for a job. Jessica still suffers from her asthma, seemed to be heading towards her room, though she kept leaning against the wall. Kanan followed her wordlessly. If she had asked for a hand, he would have leapt forward and supported her. But until Jessica did ask for that, he chose to hide himself, watching over her from a distance where he could come to her rescue at any time. When people feel their hearts are about to explode from sadness and want to have someone by their hearts, you can bet 10 billion of them would want to turn around and find someone in the place Kanan now stood. As he watched over Jessica from behind. Then finally, she doubled over in front of the door to her room. The asthma attack had stolen all of her strength, and her thoughts had gotten hasty from the lack of oxygen, making it impossible even to stand up again. But right then, Jessica didn't think she wanted someone to lend a hand. She still hadn't been able to overcome the flames of anger. Even if someone had offered her a hand with good intentions, Jessica would have wanted to tear it off right then. She knew how unfair that would be, so she definitely wouldn't ask for help until she overcame the fiery anger burning inside. Jessica had probably lost the willpower even to call for help. But Kanan heard it. He definitely heard it. Kanan definitely heard the voiceless call for help, one shared by miserable grievers the world around. An endless scream that no one ever seems to hear. Kanan quietly knelt by Jessica's side and wordlessly offered her a shoulder. Though Jessica kept coughing painfully, she accepted it, unlocked the door to her room and entered. This way. I'll prepare your medicine right away. Jessica often said that when her asthma got serious enough, it hurt so bad that it felt like she vomited up her whole stomach. Her face was pale and her gaze wavered, and yet the coughing continued. Even so, her sadness was probably even stronger. After having her sit by the bed, Kanon took a bronchodilator from a cute little basket on a nearby side table and handed it to her. Jessica sometimes forgot to take her medicine with her. Whenever this seemed to have happened, Kanan would take notice and secretly carry around the inhaler from the first aid kit in the servant room, but he hadn't done so today. He scolded himself as though wondering how he could call himself furniture after failing to bring it with him on a day like this. Then he remembered the day when he'd used that word and somehow betrayed Jessica's feelings. It jarred Kanan's heart, but he felt it would be indiscreet to think about something like that, considering how Jessica felt now, and he looked it up inside the depths of his heart. Locked it up. As she inhaled her medicine, Jessica's wild breathing calmed down by bit, and she was finally able to regain her composure, but she lost too much strength and willpower to get up from her bed. Are you alright, my lady?
I'm alright. I'm all messed up over Mom and Dad. But after I cry a bit more, I'll be alright.
Kanan regretted his poor choice of words. Did he really say, "Are you alright" to her? Was he really that clueless of the pain in her heart? This was what made her furniture. This was why he couldn't become human. So I'm thinking that maybe the big joke is going to be that they will fall in love during this, and that they will be the two separated in the second Twilight. But that got me thinking about the stakes again, and something I failed to consider is that the stakes don't necessarily have to happen in the same order they did in episode 1. those separated by those who are close who are separated don't necessarily have to be lust and gluttony. But that's just a thought I had. I don't have anything else to expand on that. Switching it all around like that just opens up way too many possibilities for me to think about. And like, a lot of them make sense already. Because I think like if Jessica and Kanon are the ones in the second Twilight, Jessica could be lust and Kanon could be wrath instead of gluttony. But I don't know. That opens up too many possibilities. Just know that I have the possibility in my mind. And hello, Jules. Welcome. I will be in the corridor. If you need anything, please call me immediately. Kanon understood that she still needed some time to cry alone. He told her to call him at any time, bowed, and tried to leave the room. Do you need something? Jessica had spoken up as though she wanted him to stop, so Kanon had stopped. If she asked it, I'll do anything I can do to help her. Right now, I'll be coming in a cane or a chair if it would help ease the pain in her heart. If by doing that, I could make up for the pain I dealt to her heart on the day. For a while, Jessica stared into Kanon's eyes. It was as though her reason for stopping him was something she couldn't put into words. For a while, neither spoke. Jessica broke that silence with a small voice.
I'm sorry. It's nothing. Could you tell Aunt Rosa that I want to be alone for a while?
I won't let you be alone.
Huh?
I won't let you be alone. So, I will be in the corridor. Please call for me. At any time. For just an instant, it looked like some kind of hope had fitted into Jessica's eyes, but it was very faint and disappeared like the first snow on the surface of a river.
Thanks. Let me cry alone for just a bit.
Yes. Excuse me. Kanon bowed once again and closed the door. He thought those words of his would give her some courage. But now it felt as though they definitely hurt her for some reason. Why? He didn't know. Surely that was because he was furniture. That was why he couldn't grasp even the sadness even now. As Kanon repeatedly questioned himself, he walked down the corridor. He felt like the window at the corridor's end was coolly calling to him. In the end, I am nothing more than furniture after all. It was still pouring outside, a dark, grey world. Even on days like this, Shannon would surely see the ocean and know that it was blue. To my eyes, even if it cleared up, I would only see grey. Until I can understand the blue of the ocean, I'll be nothing more but furniture imitating a person.
You really don't understand a woman's heart, do you? At times like that, you ought to silently remain by her side. Well, that's why you're furniture.
You! There shouldn't have been any trace of human life in this corridor. It had been an empty corridor filled with frigid air, but those scoffing words approached Kanon from behind. When he turned around, he saw that witch who hadn't shown herself when Jessica had searched for her with a rage bordering on madness, and who had left that sneering letter to toy with Jessica.
There are 3 ways to hurt a woman. Let me teach you them. 1 is to hurt them with a blade. Another is to hurt them in their heart. And 3 is the most difficult and most effective method of hurting them. And yet, it can hurt them without you even realizing it. Do you know what I mean?
How could I know? I don't even want to know.
It's to betray their expectations. No living being is more of a dreamer than a woman. They make up dreams all on their own and end up hurting their own selves. A distant man like you hurts women the most. You couldn't understand. You have no idea how deeply you've wounded Jessica. After all, you're furniture. have no intention of playing along with your nonsense. Did you appear only to sneer at me? Don't be so full of yourself, Furniture. You aren't worth sneering at. Still, though you may not be worth my time on your own, if the two of you are gathered, that's all I need. The pleasure that comes from laughing at the fates of young couples never tires me. What did you say? You don't mean Milady is going to be... I need two who are clothed for the sacrifices of the second twilight. The two of you truly are convenient. Wait, don't misunderstand. Milady and I don't have that kind of relationship. We can't become the sacrifices for the second twilight. That's why you hurt Jessica. That's why you cannot become human. Then there should be no problem if you won't admit you have feelings for Jessica. I can accept that. But I will kill her. Why? You idiot! Isn't it obvious? It'll be fun to kill her and see your face twist in pain. Why else? Following the rules of the ceremony, 13 people will be sacrificed on my whims. However, there's no rule that says I can't kill more. If it amuses me, I can kill any number of people. So I will. Make me laugh as hard as I can. Cut on the furniture! At that time, Kanon definitely heard Jessica scream. When he blinked and looked down the corridor, the witch who'd supposedly been there so nonchalantly just a second ago was gone. At that moment, he was just standing there all alone in the corridor doing nothing. And the person he wanted to protect was asking for help from far away in that direction. It was obvious what he should do. It wasn't logical. It was an electric reflex. Without any trace of hesitation or distraction, there was a person he wanted to protect, and she was asking for help. And at that moment, he genuinely wanted the person by her side to be him. As he flew into Jessica's room, the scene that greeted his eyes was a bizarre one. The room had become a fantastical world where a blizzard of gold-colored specks danced almost as though gold leaf had been scattered inside a snow globe. No, that's not it. I've seen this spectacle before. This isn't gold leaf. It's countless golden butterflies, Beatrice's minions. Jessica was surrounded by countless butterflies, waving her hands around, trying frantically to drive them away. Milady! I'm gonna... Help! Kanon rushed towards Jessica and violently brushed the clouds of butterflies away. The butterflies, which were sickening despite their beauty, surrounded Jessica's face, trying to crawl in through her mouth and nose. Jessica choked violently, almost as though the butterflies were triggering an asthma attack, mocking her. But when Kanon ran towards her, the butterflies stopped attacking and began to dance an elegant rondo along the pair. Kanon... It's okay. Well, there's still life in me. I won't let anyone lay a finger on you. Come out, Beatrice! Are you happy now? As he stood guard in front of Jessica, who was using her inhaler and seemed to be in pain, Kanon yelled into an empty air. And when he did, the empty air did indeed laugh back, satisfied. And then she showed herself. It wasn't in response to Kanon's demand. It was obviously because appearing and sneering would bring them even more humiliation, and plus it was more fun. She's wearing her dress, so they're seeing the real Beatrice. Because now they hold love in their heart. Once again, I don't deny that Beatrice doesn't exist. I just deny her involvement in the murders. And I deny that she has any power to actually kill anyone. I think this whole scene was her just taunting Kanon.
making him believe that he could hurt Jessica, but she cannot. She has small power, but not enough to kill someone. So she had enough power to trigger an asthma attack on Jessica, but that wouldn't have been enough to kill her. But it was enough to trick them into thinking so they could feel love in her hearts, and now they can see the real her.
Now everything fits into the plot. Now you're carp on the chopping board. No, since we got a pair of you, should I call it duck with green onions?
You... Beatrice! Please stand back. I'll protect you, my lady.
When the princess and knight come together, it's inevitable that the witch will appear. Yes, why don't you show me how much power Kinsel's furniture can muster?
She snapped her fingers with a piercing sound. When she did, a blizzard of gold butterflies was stirred up and they began to form a small mountain as they whirled around in a circle. It was just like the swirling of a cold winterly wind that builds up the mountain of leaves. From that mount of gold, a hand sprouted and appeared, as though a resident of the world below was crawling up from beneath the ground.
What is this? What the hell is that?
Jessica couldn't comprehend what she was seeing right now, and her mouth kept flapping open and closed. It was the bite of wisdom, seen in those trying to understand something incomprehensible.
Oh? Okay. Awesome. This Baphomet.
That thing crawling up was probably an attendant who served the witch. It appeared to be wearing a uniform suitable for one who served, but its face was wrong. It looked strange. It was covered with pitch black hair, breathed rotten breath, and its eyes were filled with the same strange subterranean glow as lava. And to symbolize its non-human status, it had 2 horns. It was the figure of a goat-faced attendant who served the witch. By now, Jessica had no idea what she should say. All this happening in front of her couldn't be explained with common sense, and she couldn't do anything except open and close her mouth. Jessica hadn't realized. She hadn't realized that this island had already been cut off from the rules of the world, and there were some things even she could understand. This goat attendant served the witch and was after her life, and apparently the witch had already given it the order. She was looking at Canon with an expectant gaze. She looked at him with an expectant and therefore challenging gaze, as though asking him asking him how he intended to protect his maiden. Though the attendant had looked especially bestial while crawling to its feet, you could see in the way it carried itself that it possessed more than enough grace to be worthy of serving the Golden Witch, and you could tell that it was overflowing with the joy of furniture wanted to meet its master's expectation.
Well then, why don't you show me? Let's see the power of Kinsel's furniture. This time, don't get the wrong idea, okay? Don't forget that your furniture. Got it? If you try to continue playing the human even now, this won't be settled by your death alone.
The gold attendant made what seemed to be a silent, respectful bow. Was it directed at his master, or was it offered to Canon, its opponent? Then on the attendant's hand, a blade of wicked malice appeared.
What the hell is that?
Jessica had been unable to understand what was happening before her eyes for a while now. All she understood was that this glow in front of her existed for the purpose of ending her life, and right now that was enough. Canon spoke quietly to Jessica, who was hiding behind his back. My lady, please stay back against the wall. Never let your back leave the wall.
What? If only right for the maiden to obediently hide behind the great knight's back. I do hope you enjoyed the pleasure of having your life protected by a man. Now, Canon, let's have a look at your blade. beautiful. At least when it comes to giving birth to furniture, Kinso might even reach up as far as my feet.
A thing like this can't even be used to trim the roses.
Kanon-kun, what?
I didn't want to show you.
So, you've taken it out. How does it feel to expose your subhumanity in front of the girl you care for?
Be silent.
So, you'll act composed even though you're really burning with wrath?
She said the thing.
Yes, they do say that truly hot flames burn a cool blue. Is that how you are now?
There's no way I can kill you with my power. You are the moon. I could never smash the moon by throwing a rock. However, in order to manifest yourself, you've had to reflect your image off the surface of the water. If you throw a rock at the surface of the water, you might be able to disturb the moon's image for some time, but that doesn't mean the moon has been smashed. So, until this life of mine is over, I'll keep on striking your reflection!
I like it, Kanon! Begin, furniture!
Once again, I'm not a magic denier. I'm a bad threes murderer denier, alright? Keep it right.
Oh, what a beautiful curve.
The witch's words of admiration broke the silence, and for just an instant they broke Jessica's paralysis.
Am I dreaming?
Come, furniture of the witch. I'll beat you down to the hell you came from. Oh! GG's. A strand of red had been left on Kanon's cheek. The witch saw this and grinned broadly.
Feel free to mutter excuses about how your instincts still haven't returned quite yet.
Kanon-kun, stay strong! It's okay. I won't die just yet. Really? The curve drawn by the goat attendant's blade drew a large arc in empty space. Kanon wasn't there. He was behind it. Nothing personnel, kid. Go back and await your master's return. Die.
Let's go! Yes!
Holy moly. If this battle of drawing sparkling curves was chess, then Kanon coming from behind was check. And press, and press, and press, and press. Use 7 moves and make it mate. Perhaps the goat attendant hadn't even been granted the ability to go into death throes, as its knees buckled and it fell over and broke into a bunch of gold butterflies with a and so there was no sound of it hitting the ground. Even those unable to understand this battle would surely realize that Kanon had been magnificent.
So I couldn't win against a handmade piece. It seems you aren't quite that pathetic.
Your next battle is... The instant Kanon's blade sliced diagonally through the witch's form like a knife through butter, she turned gold and burst. She scattered into several thousand gold butterflies, and for just an instant, the room was filled with the color of twilight. It was just as Kanon himself had said. Slicing batteries was just the same as slicing the surface of the water where the moon was reflected. The witch's form with an ordinary expression on its face as though she'd been there the whole time was right behind Kanon.
You've proven quite an entertaining show. Out of respect for that, I thought about letting you off the hook, but your rudeness now has made me change my mind.
Don't lie. I won't let you kill my lady. Even if that's impossible, I won't let you kill her while I still live.
You can't even do that much.
Do not speak, furniture. Be silent,
Furniture. Know your place, furniture.
Kanon-kun isn't furniture.
Oh. And what makes you think that?
I don't need a reason. Kanon-kun is Kanon-kun.
No, his real name is different, but a name doesn't make him furniture. Kanon-kun has his own way of living. That's a noble thing, and it's something he gets to decide for himself. You say he can't have an opinion because he's furniture? That he can't live his own life because he's furniture? That's wrong!
My lady, you mustn't provoke her.
No, I've got to make this clear. Kanon-kun isn't furniture. He's human. Why? Kanon-kun rushed to save me of his own free will, and he stood in the path of a fearsome witch like you. He had so many chances to just let me go, but he didn't. Self-sacrifice is part of the noble spirit that only humans have. That means Kanon-kun's human. So take it back! Don't you call Kanon-kun furniture again!
My lady.
Be silent, human! Let's end this quickly, since this is just the second twilight after all. Now I shall sacrifice the two who are close, who have acknowledged each other's dignity. Well then, arise, forgive the sin, one of the 7 stakes of purgatory, lust!
The witch summoned her furniture with a mixture of laughter and anger on her face.
I'll accept it. Fine, I don't care. It's just... I don't like... I don't like it. I don't like it. What Ruby just said, that's all. That's all. But I accept it. I'll accept it. It's not even interesting, dude. Whatever. I can't. Oh. It's so boring. It's so boring. It's so boring. I keep tabbing back in to read, and I just tab back out because I can't. It's just so boring. They just showed a awesome Baphomet goat thing. It was peak. And, bro. The witches being humanoid is fine. They're witches. They've always been humanoid. But these are the 7 princes of hell. Okay, whatever. This is not the same. It's not even because they're using so much of the actual mythology. So I can't even say like, no, this isn't the 7 princes. It's just our personification of the concepts of the sins.
But if I just think about it like that, it'll be easier to swallow. Better. Okay. Maybe they'll be cool. Maybe some of the others won't look like this. Any character updates? No. Gosh, okay. If there's really gonna be 7 of them, 7 voices, how they're just gonna get like the same voice, unless they look drastically different. Asmodeus of Lust, right here. I had enough of this farce. Quickly, execute the second Twilight. Will be incredible in the next 10 chapters when things will click to you and start calling them peak bro. Looking forward to it. I mean, I'm sure. I'll like them a lot, I'm sure. If they're actual characters.
Don't keep me waiting. Got it. As you command. Huh, another weirdo's shown up.
It took Kanon less than an instant to understand. That goat face from a second ago had been nothing more than a pawn to the witch. However, this newly summoned furniture was a game piece with a vastly different value.
Wow, I must be lucky to be given such a wonderful prey. You scared? How cute.
Come, furniture of the witch. I won't be killed by you.
You're acting pretty smart for a dunce who can't even follow me with his eyes. Here I go. Okay. Hey, where do you want it? Where do you want me to pierce you? Answer me, kitty. I'll pierce you good when you wherever you want. Come, answer me, kitty.
Don't call me cutie.
Here I go, you dunce. Come on, try to follow me, you blind idiot.
I'm gonna end this stream with nothing to say because, like, I think I'm gonna stop thinking from now on. I think we're just gonna read, say nothing else, and continue on just like that forever. Milady!
I couldn't follow it with my eyes. But my guess was spot on. Serves you right.
Kanon's back had been the target, but Jessica had predicted it. She predicted that the witch's target would be the complete opposite of fair and honest, his back. But she had no way to block it. She hadn't planned on it being some act of self-sacrifice. She just couldn't think of any other way to protect Kanon's back. So she could do nothing but block it with her own back. The furniture of the witch, which had changed its form into a demon's stake, was buried deep into Jessica's back. I've been defeated. I've been utterly defeated. Everything. I've been defeated. There's nothing to me. You lost, Ruby. You lost. You gotta... If there's a way to take back what you have gambled and put it all on Cascalane, then you gotta. I've been defeated. I've been defeated. I have stopped thinking. From here on, I will be like cars from JoJo. Up in space. Immovable. With no choice but to stop thinking. I got nothing. It's like... This is so much. This is so elaborate. That how can I just say it must have been the wind? It must have been Kinsel. How can I? When it's this elaborate. With like Kanon's death in episode 1, he was alone. I could have easily called it a suicide. And here, I can easily say that it's the same deal. The servants work for Beatrice or Kinsa, and Kanon was ordered to kill both himself and Jessica, and this whole thing with the anime woman and Baphomet and Beatrice is all the wind. But how can I? That is just so much. That is so much to say. It's such a leap to say that. And it's just not satisfying anymore. Because it's just like, oh yeah, this whole cool battle scene we showed you, it was all fake. No, it can't. No matter what, nothing's satisfying. If Beatrice truly is behind all the murders, if Beatrice truly used magic to kill everyone, like we just saw, then it's unsatisfying for the story they were trying to make, they were setting up right now, about, you know, Butler disproving the witch. It's just a Chekhov's gun where the gun never gets fired. You set this up just to take it away, which I guess in a way is its own way of storytelling by setting you up and then breaking the character down, you know? Instead of having Butler win, we're gonna see him break down. But if it turns out that this is all fake and Beatrice wasn't responsible for anything, then this whole scene we just saw is unsatisfying, and basically the entirety of episode 2 would be unsatisfying. No, I don't think I will keep reading. I think I'm uninstalling. I've been broken. I've been broken. The stream title wasn't a lie. This truly is the last Umineko stream. It's just, I want to keep believing. I want to keep believing so bad that everything can be explained through human terms with no magic. I want to believe so bad because it's so satisfying, and I want to root for Butler. But at this point, when does it go from conviction to delusion? When do I starting to not enjoy the story because I keep trying to grasp at this thing that the game didn't want you to believe in the first place anyways? Like, who am I to assume that the game wants me to think that the Beatrice isn't involved in the murders? Like, maybe it's just we're supposed to be seeing how Butler gets broken down while we, the reader, know the truth that she is involved in the murders. So if I keep believing, like Butler, that it's all farce, I'm gonna end up enjoying the game less because every scene with Beatrice, I'm just gonna be thinking about how, oh, that didn't happen, oh, it must have been the win. Like, at what point do I stop analyzing the story in the way I'm supposed to and enjoying it, and start enjoying it less because of my delusion? I want to keep believing, but I don't want to look like a fool. I'm already a fool. I'm already the biggest fool to ever fool. But if I continue on this path I am on, I would look like an even bigger fool. And I might miss other obvious stuff because I'm on this other line of thinking, and I might miss other stuff that would have been obvious if I stopped thinking that way. But I can't. I will not give up. I don't care how stupid it sounds now. It sounds horribly, awfully stupid at this point in time. But I won't give up. I'm not letting Butler be alone. I will continue to fight against Beatrice. I will not believe that she was involved. All of this, everything we just saw, just the wind. It was all the wind. I don't care. I don't care how stupid I look. I will do the worst playthrough of Umineko you have ever seen. And you will deal with it. I will miss everything that's obvious because I'm on this other path of thinking. I will disregard cool scenes like these and not enjoy them because I will call them fake and illusions. And you will all watch me dig myself deeper into this hole until Battler himself is broken down and proven to his face that it all truly happened. I will not give up. Whatever, dude. Whatever. Don't make me end the stream right now, Tomato. I'm just gonna finish the scene and then we're done. Don't make me do it early. It was an obviously fatal wound that reached as far as her lungs. When she saw this, the witch let out a loud, evil laugh. Because it hit where the witch had predicted. Everything was as the witch had predicted. What's wrong, Canon? Milady Jessica just got killed, but you still live, didn't she? Yes, that's it. That's the face, that look on your face is what I wanted to see. How truly enjoyable. That's enough. Die, make me laugh. Come, arise, forgive the sin. One of the 7 stakes of purgatory. Wrath! Satan of Wrath, right here. This spray of yours is yours. Eat him up right now and close the curtain on this stage. If you were a human, I'd say it's time for you to step down, but since you're furniture, maybe I should say it's time for the stage manager to carry you behind the stage. I am not furniture anymore. I won't doubt that again. Oh, what's this? You want to be killed by me again? Your chest is so warm it feels so good to pierce it. Come on, let me have another taste, okay? Won't you make me feel like really good with that hot, fresh blood in the warm chest of yours? Ha. I'm tired, boss. There was no way to block it. The sound of a woodpecker filled the entire room, and before he could blink, it was already right in the center of his chest. When you take a piece in chess, the rules say that it's possible for your opponent's piece to defend itself. So this was an obvious result in accordance with the rules. Conan landed to his knees, and he apologized. Not to the witch, and not to Milady. He apologized to Jessica. I'm sorry. I couldn't protect you. Don't worry about it. You were really cool. Canon fell over. He landed next to Jessica, and the two lay there like the constellation Gemini. What are we doing? Why are we bringing astrology into this? Do not bring constellations into this, okay? I'm also knowledgeable about that. Don't even. Last time you ever mentioned that, please. You know, Kanon-kun, you aren't furniture anymore. Yes, I was. Too late in realizing that. I wanted to ask you what your real name was. My real name is... In his last moments, Kanon wanted to tell her his name. But Jessica had already fallen into sleep from which she would never wake. So Kanon's real name, which he had protected until today, in the end, he couldn't tell it to Jessica. I became you. Those were the last words Kanon left behind. Don't make me laugh, furniture.
Even after 100 years, furniture will still be furniture. Have you ever heard of anyone stupid enough to dig a grave for their furniture when they throw it away? You smash furniture to pieces and make firewood so that all that's left is ashes. That's how it is. Furniture gets no tombstone. It seems you believe death means an end to your humiliation, but that's naive. I'll show you what it really means to disgrace the dead.
After taking a puff from her pipe, the witch breathed the smoke at Kanon's corpse. When she did, Kanon's corpse floated softly into the air and disappeared as though it had been eaten by a mouth in empty space. The witch played dirty until the very end. The corpses of the pair who managed to understand each other in the end were not even permitted to be close. If someone had been watching, they would probably say mournfully, "So this is what you meant by disgracing the dead." However, Beatrice was far crueler than that. The reason for that would soon become apparent. Unless this next scene is Beatrice and Butler talking to each other, we're done. GG's. That is all. Oh, come on. That's another... No, I don't have it in me. I am broken. I am distraught. I am nothing. I have lost. Ruby has lost. Lots of money. It is the end. There is nothing more. No. I'm strong. What do you mean least normal? You said this was normal. But I'm strong. I'm strong. And I have conviction. Battler wouldn't give up. I'm not giving up. We'll continue. We'll play tomorrow. That I will figure it out. I will figure everything out. It's just I hate that Wrath was used for Kanon again. So Lust can change, but Wrath had to be the same. I don't know. That's weird. That's odd. I don't like that. But anyways, everything. Why is tomorrow an impossibility? Oh, Silk Song. Yeah, never mind. Break. I probably won't be able to stream until Sunday or Monday then, because I'm busy weekends. But yes, I have a long time for me to think about this. I will try my best for next stream to come in prepared with a battle tactic, a battle plan, an attack strategy. I will refute this. Just you all see. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. Bye bye.